Are you ready? You should be. The question is, where is Saturday? And the answer is, ask Friday. Everybody knows that. So my name is Joseph. And you can find me on Facebook for the moment. Who knows how long I'll be on Facebook. I'm not really much of a regular Facebook user these days. But it's there. I like to write when I do use it, which you can't do here. So yeah, there I am. How's everybody doing on this Saturday, September 19th, 2020? Planet Earth. I hope everyone, everybody, everything is well. Always. So, I'm having a momentary lapse here. Technical difficulties. I don't know why. Try it again. Maybe it just takes it. Nope, I'm just gonna have to give up on that, but I can continue over here because I want to say this. Everybody will test positive. And that's the whole point of it all. For it ever being, everybody will test positive eventually. It is created. So many coming forward, and many more, if it were not for censorship, humiliation, and humanity fading, changing into something that bears little resemblance to what was once known as a human being. The virus is created and is changing into what? Nobody knows except those who created it, programmed it. Once people get over the fact that it is not natural because man created it, the question will be, was it an accidental or intentional release? Now me, I think it doesn't matter. I mean, one should step back further and ask, what the was it doing in a lab to begin with? Why are they creating such nasty shit? It is what it is. And lastly, who did this? So that's just a thought opener. Let's see if I can get it up over here. There we go. So I can finish this up, and then I will turn the camera on. This is such a weird glitch. That's very weird. This happened just recently. Okay, well that's fine. I can fix it later. It wants to not update the thumbnail for the stream. It's putting up last night's. Oh well. I will not let it hinder me. So hi, how's everybody doing? How's the universe doing? Everything in the universe. I'm thinking about you right now. All the time. I do. Somehow, some way, I manage to slip into each and every day a thought that I am not alone. Because right now I do feel alone. As do I suspect many others do too. I mean, a good many of us are on lockdown. Shut down. Anyway. Every time I start these, I always have a thought in mind that I've been focused on. But when I start the stream, it's like I just go blank. It's like I'm doing it for the first time. Part of me is looking at anything I've thought about was like a rehearsal, and I want it to be on the fly. I know what I thought about an hour ago, 12 hours ago, yesterday, last week. Can fade a little the farther I go back, but then that's part of me. I don't train my mind like with knowing that there is not a moment in my day where I am reflecting on everything. Life, everything, everywhere, every time, somehow, some way, someone. I did jot a couple of thoughts down, and I thought each one of them are like a beginning. I could begin with this or begin with that, and so I decided that I would just mention the few that I jotted down without going into them as I would have if I had chosen one. That would have been my starting point, and then gone from there. Yeah, see, it's all live, real time. I'm hearing stuff dropping on the floor above, and I hear that quite often. And that was something I thought of, but I didn't jot that one down and going from there. But I wrote down alone. But I did mention alone. So I guess you could say I kind of started with that one and went from there. Alone in pain, which I don't want to be, that would have been a starting point. Then my next thought was, you do it to each other. You all are doing it to each other with intent. And going from there. Then my next thought was, am I making any sense? And let's see, another thought to begin this stream was, why not just release it in the air? And again, I would have elaborated on what I meant by that. My next thought was worst first, which I've mentioned recently in these streams, with an added worst first, and then plunge in head first. That whole motion of like jumping the gun, the flag, with worst first in your mind. Think the worst first, and then you, right after that, you plunge right in head first. That was it. There's one little smaller one that I have to look for the glasses so I can see it if I can't remember. So I'm just going to continue. Plunge on in. Clearly I'm going to talk about the virus. As for where is Saturday, we're here. It's here right now. I think that's a no-brainer. Again, if I had the rocket scientists and their little rockets, UFOs, I'd have them enter the scene with clapping before they departed. The virus. I think obviously that's the biggest thing. It is. It's affected so much. See, I'm thinking of all the million different ways it's affected, and thinking I need to brush over that for the moment. And if I need be, it's right there where I brushed it to. I am listening to music. I'm not gonna put up a daily 3. I haven't even started up Pandora on the old monitoring device. I have that thing is just that's what it is. That's what its intent has become. It monitors. You know, and not that there's anything wrong with that. See, because I have different views about if I were going to live within this physical plane of reality under the restraints we live under. I see no. I'm not against artificial intelligence. I'm not of that mindset. I think it would be interesting. Problem is, you. Who are you? You are a product of your environment. You are. You are a product of your environment. You are a product of what you feed yourself. Nourishment, food wise, and spiritually wise. This is truth. Undeniable. You can censor it all you want, but it's the truth. This moment didn't just happen. It didn't just happen. And as you think about that, think about this. When you think of God, and God is a creator, and when we come into the picture, onto the scene of this creation that God is creating, that was not the beginning of the creation. Your beginning was the beginning of it all. God created the earth, the heavens, created everything, and then at the center put the earth, put everything that's on the earth, then put you. He did that like that. That's how most interpret creation. But it's not that way at all. Just that point where we came onto the scene is our beginning, but it was not the beginning of this creation. It took what it took to get to that point where you and I come into the scene. I'm debating on whether I want to turn the music on and just have it be playing music. And it's I don't know. I love the music. It's organ music, church organ. It's actually a duet. There's another organist, and both of them are playing together. It's great stuff. And I listen to it and think about what I'm feeling, and I wonder, is that what the artist was putting out there, was feeling as well? Then you go to the webpage and to that song, and you see other people's replies, and there's I'm not alone. Anyway, starting to deviate. I'm just wondering if you thought about what I put before you, or has taken that thought and thinking about the beginning, creation, the creator. I don't think one can. There is no scale. There is no scale to measure the time that went into that point in that stream of time, that creation, that created stream of time, our beginning, human. So much. It's beyond time. It's beyond time. I'm going to keep saying the UFOs are not going to land. Because why? Because I think that clearly, when I speak of an intelligence, this intelligence is in this realm of timelessness. You just can't walk into a room anywhere here, I think, on Earth from that state of timelessness and hand them a magic wand, or they have a magic wand, and it just, you understand, like a universal communicator. It's not like that. Humans put expectations on any kind of intelligence greater than itself, in that it can't be more than themselves. So when humans look to outside intelligence, they place themselves upon whoever, whatever this entity may come to be. That's what they're looking for. That's what you are looking for. Just like you got SETI looking for radio signals. That's a human expectation. And I talked about this previously, that clearly, if you were to ever truly make use of this vast universe, i.e. getting from here to just the next galaxy nearest, the Milky Way galaxy, it's never going to happen. I mean, unless you open your mind up and begin to contemplate, what if? Because you know what? It is a possibility. And it would explain so much. It would, this huge weight would be lifted. The wondering and the waiting. Am I making any sense? I see this intelligence as very lonely. If you were to be there, to be a part of this intelligence, there is an alone factor. Takes a certain type of mind to embrace what timelessness means. No beginning, no end. Just this perpetual moment. Takes a unique mind, a very unique mindset. I mean, let's just say everything I'm supposing is true. The only thing I think, because I'm thinking of, people, what do you do next? The people want to know. The people want to see. And I think that if such a person were to do that at this point in time, the majority wouldn't get it. I think the great majority would not get it. They're too attached to this, the life we've created here in this time. It comes and goes. I say that they are alone, all one. It's not sad. It's not sad, because there is no, you can never go back. You can never go back. I can't go back into, time can't go backwards, and I'm a young man, then I'm a little boy, then I'm a baby, then I'm a fetus. It doesn't work that way. It's not a sad alone. It's an honor to hold such a such a place. Special. And it's not for this intelligence's lack of a want, a need to be with you and everyone, everything. That's not the problem. It does not exist from this intelligence's perspective. That's a human. It's a human. There's some parts about human that need to change. Absolutely. I think it's the forcing the change that's the problem right now, anyway. But then it's like, well, how do the changes ever happen? Am I making any sense? God, God, God. It amazes me that such a word stirs. It's like that worst first. Either you're open-minded, or you're the other side, and it's like the worst first, and that kind of mentality, and you go from there. You treat, yeah. And that leads me back into that other thought that I jotted down. I don't want to get distracted. I think I'm trying to lead back into the you do it to each other. Do what? What do you do to each other? Well, you kill each other. You fight with each other. You hurt each other. You call each other names. And you derive joy out of it. It's not enough that there was an actual moment of anger, misunderstanding, whatever it is, and then you move on. It's people harbor. They do. They absolutely do. They think the worst, and they focus on that. Y'all doing it to each other. Y'all judging each other. You do. How can you not? This is like one of those times when I would love for ETs to come in and land and listen to what I'm asking humanity, because I like to know what they think about what I'm sharing, my thoughts. Am I making any sense? You tell me. You think it's crazy to say that this virus is created? Yeah, I would say that it's crazy to say that. If I hadn't been listening and seeing and reading reports over the months come out sporadically here and there, and then you got the communities that cluster together and talk about it. This has been out there since very early on, late January, sometime in January 2020. Somebody noticed something. Somebody saw something. Somebody woke up, stood up, and spoke up. Amen. And it was a brother. And I see, now I say that, and it's like people automatically they have these because this is a white man. We're all brothers and sisters. We are. That's just a fact, Jack. Anyway, that's just was me expressing kudos to him. Made it easier for another who was seeing things to speak up, and then now you've got Tucker Carlson being censored on Facebook for a report by a woman who works at the where? Who? Chinese woman works with the WHO. She's a virologist. And it's censored. It's censored. You're not allowed to know that. You should know that. Well, why? I mean, do you have something to prove that what's being said is an absolute falsehood? Because if you do, I think now would be a prudent time to divulge such information with a public that is beginning to panic. I think there's something inside them that knows something just doesn't smell right. They're projecting outwards into the future, and it's not looking so bright. Censored. Again, until I see something that says that this woman is telling complete lies from a person that has a position to make that kind of call. I mean, it's amazing. You got people out there that call themselves experts, and everybody's an actor. We're all playing a role in the weirdest movie I could have ever imagined going to see. The virus is created by somebody. They've already looked at it, and if those people were allowed to be freely getting that information out there so that everybody could give it a fair, critical look, unbiased, instead of jilted and jaded, which Facebook clearly has those colors. Absolutely unreal. But you know what? The one thing that just I ultimately rest with to breathe again is that this could not be happening unless this is it. This is for all the marbles. Because that's the only kind of mindset that I feel would be behaving the way I'm seeing so many behave. It's for everything. I got nothing to lose but everything to gain. I think that's the mindset. The virus was created. And it's amazing that the excuse me, the people that are giving information, showing the data, the alterations, that HIV, a piece of the code that creates HIV, which everybody for the most part I think knows, a piece of that program. They took a piece of it and it's been inserted into the corona virus. That's just one piece of one thing. There's other pieces of other things. And it's changing. And I know the simple person, I shouldn't say simple, but see, I love simple. If you listen to me, I'm all about simple. So I get why the simple person would think the way they're thinking, that that's just too crazy. That's just a little bit too much, too far to go. To embrace that it's created and it has all these different things in it. It does. I think that if one were to be able to step into all of these labs simultaneously, at the same moment, an organized team were to safely, triple safely, enter these facilities and check them out and see what they're doing, I can only hope that you would be saying, what the do you think you're doing? Why? Why are you doing it? I mean, if this virus is created, which I don't doubt, I've seen enough, heard from enough. I want to know more, clearly, but I've heard enough as far as to the question of whether or not this thing is created, altered, changed. And it is. It's been created. These people aren't saying these things to instill fear and panic. It's the truth. And if it's not, then prove me wrong. Don't shut me up. Without doing that, proving me wrong, anyone wrong. Why was it in a lab to begin with? See, that's where the next question is going to be, once because it's going to become more and more established that this thing was created. It's not going to go away. That you get to a point, the public, the society gets to a point where it questions, was it intentionally or accidentally released? Which I sort of understand asking that question, but I step back in time before you even get to that point, before it is even released at all. and asking what is it even doing in this lab in the first place, to have the potential to get out like it did and do what it was created to do, which is kill, if it can, change you, so they don't know what there's. It's like when you write a program, a computer program. You know, line 10, it does something, and then it tells it where to go in the program to do what it's going to do next. That's a part of it, a part of what's going on here. There's a program. This virus is like a program. It was created with intent. So who knows where it's going? I mean, Bill Gates and others have already pretty much made clear that, you know, that this is just round one. Round two's coming. Probably going to be worse. It's a test run. Testing the waters. Can't just do it all at once for the first time. Got to do a run through. That kind of leads me into the, you know, why don't they just spray it in the air? Like, you get planes and just in a night around the world just bombard the world, and I don't know. I guess maybe that's my mind drifting a little there with possibility. Because I don't want to take away from the fact that this is a creation of man. A creation that was designed with intent and purpose. What's that purpose? War? Is it war? This is like a slow run. This is going to be happening. This isn't going away. These are not going away. It's a slow run, a slow kill. I mean, when you cull a herd, you don't do it all at the same instant. You know, it's for the most part, it's like a one by one deal. I have no clue. I haven't. Just kind of use common sense. I mean, I know what happens as far as an individual cow goes. I'm just saying that this is, and clearly it's a run through. Like I said last night, or the night before, who knows, time. In October of last year, 2019, I should look that all up, but October of 2019, they did a pandemic dramatization, like a real-time dramatization, a discussion amongst people as under the assumption that certain types of events were taking place around the world, and then months later, those pretty much the same things. Maybe the names change, but the emotions the same, and so it was like a mirror. Things that have happened have been like a mirror, have been a mirror of what was shown. Did these people just get lucky? It was just a chance encounter? No. No, 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 no. It was planned. This has all been planned for a long, long time. And here's the reason why you would do it slow, like we're seeing, and it will notch up more and more and more and more with other viruses, let alone COVID-19, which is just look it up. Start looking it up. You'll eventually find it. And I think that's when it'll be most rewarding. It'll mean the most because you went and looked and checked it out. I mean, there's keywords are pretty simple. COVID-19. I think that's the beginning. What next? Well, what have we been talking about? Created. Virus created. The CRISPR, right now you could add in CRISPR. That's the technology used to look at the virus. Zoom in. It's out there. So you want to do it in small steps. Why? I'm just going to just put it out there because I like to think simple. Why would they not just put it all out in the air overnight? And why would they not release something even more powerful? Which there's already hints of it's going to be more powerful, worse. So why wouldn't you do that? Well, I'm gonna try to put this as delicately as I can. Do you want? I'm gonna just take Los Angeles. Angels. Take Los Angeles, okay? And imagine that the entire city and its far-reaching expanses, you never know how many towns you've driven through once you get down there. But all of them, within a week, are dead. Gone. That means there's very, very few, if any, to deal with it. Bury, I guess. They wouldn't be buried. Disposed of. Somehow they would be removed. You would have to do that quickly. See, if you do it slow, then you get the people to do it, take care of all that business. Then you get to that final blow, and there's a fraction of what there would have been if you had chosen the plan to just go full throttle. Am I making any sense? Maybe I'm making too much sense. Again, when you call a herd, any herd, you don't call the herd all at once. This virus is going to get worse. It is created to become worse. And you got to get to that point where you can accept that it was created. And I hope that once you get there, you don't dwell on, well, was it accidentally released or was it intentionally released? Because it doesn't matter. That should not be the question in your mind. The question in your mind should be, why was it in a lab to begin with? Okay? It's in that lab being created. I'm telling you, if we went and could have full access to all these labs right now, your mind would be blown. I know it. I know it. That's like, I've never been in any of these labs, but it's like, at this stage in the game, everything that's going on, I'm willing to stake my life on the supposition that if we were allowed to go into these labs, all of them simultaneously, it would all be there. All these nasty monsters, little monsters, created to do things. You don't want to do it all at once. That's why I say this is a run through, testing the waters, gathering data, taking notes, so that each time you roll it out, there's you have a better book to play from. All your notes based on what is. That's why I'm saying they started on in October of 2019, the dramatization, to put it out there, kind of see what happens if you just do that, and make, what kind of response will we get from a fake pandemic that's being portrayed as a dramatization. What kind of feedback are we going to get? What are we going to see? What are the reactions that we're going to get from what we project out? I did this. And then months later, it begins. I mean, whoa! Sorry. So yeah, it begins. Complete. It's like you're watching that dramatization all over again. But it's real. It's not being dramatized. Then you got what's come of all of it, the lockdowns, the masks, and they talk about all this stuff in this dramatization. It's supposed to be like experts at a round table coordinating. Then they panic us full on from the get-go. It's going to do all this damage. You know, so many people are going to die. So many people. And again, that's to test you, the public, to see how you're going to react to, you know, because it could have just as easily been, could have gone the way that it was being reported, could have even been worse, but it didn't. And we're still debating about all of that. It's become a shit show in my mind. The numbers have been over-dramatized, overstated. I don't want to spend this stream getting into the greed and the money and all that, because it's a big part of it. But lies are being told. We're being told. Things are being made up. Now you've got censorship. Censorship. I mean, if you don't understand and see that there is censorship taking place, then you are totally detached from what's really taking place, what's really going on in the world. And I don't know what to say to you. I want to wish you well. I want to say, I'm sorry you're there, but then there's part of me that, no, I'm not, because we all have the potential to take the moment and just sit down and think about what's going on. And if you don't and can't, it's because you are already a certain mindset. And maybe it's better to keep that mindset there and have it deal with what's coming next. Good luck. Slowly. You don't do this all at once. Small steps. One step after the next. The next one's a little bit more momentous than the previous, and on until you get to that final blow. We just getting started in this. I know people, they want it to go back to the way it was. I don't see that. Not that I don't see people wanting that and people out there trying to make that happen again. It's that I see all these other things that are taking place they supersede anything that is going on. Clearly, there's some kind of power in control. When the media is telling you flat out lies, but yet censors the truth, Fox, I'm ready to say goodbye to the Fox network. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody at this point in time right now, aside from listening to Tucker Carlson, which who knows how much longer he'll be with them. Sean Hannity, I like Sean Hannity. And I can listen to the Five. I always wondered why Juan's on there, though. I guess he's the one that's coming from the other side, because he's clearly very, very coming at it from a very democratic, he's a Democrat. Maybe not. That's what I think when I see him up there. Sometimes my mind is kind of dumbfounded beside itself, trying to think that did he just put it that way? But I don't want to get onto that. For the most part, I feel that network that was like the last network for the people, the public media, mainstream media that was out there. But clearly it's changed. The people that are the controllers have reached into Fox, clearly, because the whole George Soros thing is I watched that and I was I mean, what do you say? They were like, I mean, clearly he wasn't supposed to be bringing up that guy, his name, and then you got the other woman um, who jumps right in at some point with, no, he didn't do that, or which I know is a complete lie. She's clearly ignorant and doesn't look at the facts, and if she does, she lies about them, which I wouldn't put it past her or any of these people right now. I don't know who to trust, really. You know, if you want to get right down to it, I feel like people are flipping on a dime now. My last water. Pain. I was going to mention pain. I'm here right now, and I am in a lot of pain. So I'm kind of moving around a lot because I have my foot. I can't walk on it. I mean, I can lightly. It takes a lot, and it hurts. So I'd rather not. I can't go to the store. I need to go and get water. I can't get out. It's just too much pain. So I think I'm gonna, maybe in another day or two, I'll be able to. We'll see. I'm gonna have to do something. I've gone days without drinking water. I fasted one time. I didn't eat food for 30 days. 30 days. And of those 30 days, I did not drink water for at least 10 days. Because I know that was my goal. Was 10 days. While I will say this, I didn't feel like I was dying. I did feel very like happy-go-lucky. No energy though. I couldn't move around, get up and walk around, anything like that. I made sure I had stuff near me that I could eat. I needed to eat little by little. You don't rush right in and go to a smorgasbord after a fast. But I had things nearby. And it didn't take long before I felt like I could get up and start walking around comfortably. Why? Why did I do that? I wanted to clean my body. I always want to cleanse my body. And the longer I did it, I felt like I'm cleaning my body, extra good. But you get to a spiritual point, a mental point. You think about things. You think about life. You think about death. Hopefully you come out of it closer, and life is very precious. Does for me. I like to fast, and I don't know why I'm up here talking about fasting. I think because I just realized I'm not going to be drinking water until I go get some water. I don't have a car too, so keep that in mind. I do have a bike, but bike requires feet to pedal, and not quite there yet. So I know it sounds outrageous. A virus that is created means it was designed. It means it has intent to do something, that's obvious. It's designed to hurt. kill, to maim. The elite, the globalists, whatever you call these people, the people that have the majority of the wealth of the world. And I'll even toss in those that would like to be a part of that club, who have a lot of wealth, but they don't have quite that. They're not in that league. So I'm not going to discount those people as sharing that mindset that these globalists that I'm talking about. Money buys anything. Government, all the time we hear, bribes, lobbyists, money. I think people that think this kind of stuff could never happen, it can when it comes to money. Maybe I should go through the whole pie thing again. I'm always trying to make each time I bring up the money pie, I'm trying to condense it smaller and smaller. But if all the money in the world, all the wealth of the world were represented in a single pie, your favorite pie, and you cut it up into 6 slices, and you took one of those slices, and that's being generous. It's a bigger slice than the actual size of the slice. But I'm trying to just make this simple because I think it gets across the point. Take that one slice, and that's all the money, all the wealth, the worth of the majority of the planet. You, me, the average Joe, Dick, Bob, Shirley, on and on, just people. All of their wealth in that single slice of pie. That leaves 5 other slices. Who has that? Not very many. Not very many at all. They would be like a sliver on the people pie. You were representing a pie that people as a pie. All the people are the pie. The people that we're talking about that have those 5 slices, they would make up a sliver of that people pie. There's not many of them, but yet they have 5 slices of they have all the money, all the worth, the wealth of the world 5 times over in those 5 slices. Now you cannot tell me that that they can't do anything they want when it comes to money. There's always somebody that will, I'll do it. Yeah, I want this much. I want this. I want that. That, to these people, this mindset, that doesn't mean anything to them. They have so much money. Yeah. You'll do this? Yeah, okay, we'll hook you up then. It happens all the time. It happens every day. Probably happening right now somewhere in the world. Somebody's making a deal. Trying to get ahead. Trying to be in control. Have more control. So again, to all those people out there who say, nah, this could never happen. None of this craziness. Oh, viruses being designed and it's all part of a plan to... kill the human population for the most part. Not needed anymore. And I went through that last night, and I made it pretty clear, I thought. I mean, it was pretty simple to understand. I mean, you didn't really need to spend a lot of time thinking about what is he talking about, what is he saying, and trying to apply sense to it. It made perfect sense, simple sense. You have a huge factory that employed hundreds of workers, and then you install robots to do the jobs those people did. So now you have all those people with no job. And that continues to happen. Whether it's robots, some kind of an artificial intelligence system that can take over, like a phone system, whatever. There's just so many applications out there that you could have be automated. And that's exactly what's happening. Wow. Small steps. I'd like to stop them. I would, I guess. I don't guess. That's why I'm up here right now, sharing my thoughts, trying to put together what's going on, and put it out there, my thoughts, in a simple way for the average Joe to hear, to listen to, and get it. I mean, I realize I talk about some other things. I can talk for hours and hours about God, E.T., intelligence, just being. I'd like to think that those are good things amidst the shit that's coming down around the world. I mean, it's weird. You got police in the States quitting. Over in Australia, you've got police. It's like martial law over there. You can't say anything unless you want to be arrested, which that's coming here. It's already happening. I mean, you got censoring Tucker Carlson for sharing a story from a woman, and I guarantee you, Mr. Mark Zuckerberg, Tucker didn't just put her up on there without checking out what she had to say, where she came from, how she came onto the scene. But you, for some reason, what do you do? Or what is it that you do, dude? What is it that you do? I don't understand. I don't get what you do, other than you have an app, a little program that just, for the most part, keeps itself going. It does what it does. What else? What is it that you do? You are a dumb effer, you know that. And I said that on my Facebook page. You're more than welcome to take it off, but it doesn't take away the truth. If you can say it, I can say it. That's your mindset. If you can say something, then it's allowed. Tucker's not allowed. Dumb effers are. You said so. Yeah, I'm going to keep on bringing that little moment of your life back to you. Like a little boy. That's what he called all his Facebook users. In a conversation he was having. Referred to them as dumb effers. What is it that you do, Mark, other than dictate? I'm only telling the truth. If I'm guilty of anything, it's the truth. The worst first. That's the mindset of people. And you're all doing it to one another. I see it. I mean, I think we all suffer from multiple personality. I think each and every one of us throughout the day shifts through possibly hundreds of personalities, because I don't think any one person is the same person with any two people. I see it all the time, all around me. I'm starting to stray though. I'm going to stick to this virus and just getting it out there for people to think I'm just some guy. I have a lot of time, a lot to think. I've had a lot of time to think. I haven't had my mind filled and cluttered with the world per se. Having a place to stay, having something to eat, that kind of thing. So I've had a lot of time. And I feel like this conversation, any of my conversations, bring all that time that I have been thinking. I'm not a partier. Okay? I don't party. I'm not a people person. I'm shy of people. I tried to explain this recently, that it's like empathy. It's like I don't know what the thoughts of people, but I feel what these people feel, and I don't like it. I don't like to feel what all these people are feeling. All thinking the worst first. So for that reason, I keep to myself. Very private person. And I know that most people are not interested in talking about the things that I talk about, that I'm sharing. Dreaming reality, timelessness, and intelligence. Here, right now, always has been, always will be. It ain't going nowhere. It has nowhere to go. This is it. This is all it ever had. When I'm getting ready to wind these down, I always start to... I want to get, like, just... I guess dramatic is the word. To just kind of leave with, like, a punch. Because I'm worried. I'm worried that a lot of people aren't going to make it. They're gonna let these twisted minds out there with this plan. We're gonna let them win. I don't want that. I don't think you do. But I am a realist, and I realize that even without this whole global new world order, whatever crap, there's still plenty of our own crap that we haven't been tending to. And I don't really see there being any desire to. I mean, It's shit. Who wants to deal with shit? Stinky. Nasty. Right? Especially if you're putting all that crap into your body. What you put in is what you put out. Think about that. I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow. I've been wanting to do these daily. I didn't plan for the foot issue, which I was down for 10 days, pretty much laid out on the bed, foot elevated, becoming a little bit more mobile. Plus, I got to get water. So I'm going to be focused on those things. So I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow. If not, then hopefully the day after that. But I'll be back. I'm dreaming reality with God and music. You know, I feel like I gotta spend a minute or two with this music. And it's at the end, so if it's an issue, it could always just be clipped off. Joseph, Jozef. That's the composer. I don't know how to say his last name. When I get a chance, I'll put a link in the description. Church organ, awesome stuff. I play keyboards. I mentioned that. I don't know if it was last night or the night before. Taught myself organ. Learned on an organ. So I love that instrument. I had a Thomas Color Glow. It had Color Glow in the name. Thomas Color Glow with a Moog synthesizer. A little Moog synthesizer on it. I loved it. Keyboards. Anyway, this piece of music. I don't know, it's heavy. There's a part of it that's heavy, sad, lamenting. But then you have this other side, like that just picks it up, carries it to this higher place, happier place. The two of them together playing at the same time. Okay. Again, I did not do the music thing. I shouldn't call it a thing. I'm still working on the whole, how do I bring that into this mission that I feel I'm on. This intelligence is here, and it wants to know you, wants to know me, it wants to know everyone and everything. It can't be here. It can't exist here. It's like taking a fish out of the water and saying, I want you to be my pet and put a leash on it. It doesn't work like that. That's just trying to keep it simple. That's obviously a little bit more complicated. To keep it simple, I mean, you get the gist of that idea. That's why you're not going to see them landing, coming here, and getting out and interacting. Maybe next time I stream, I'll spend a little bit more time in that. because that whole topic's been heavy on my mind my whole life. It's been, I think, probably the biggest part. That's why I did this, spent the time anyway, to create this. This is a 3D UFO that I rendered back in the early 90s. Yeah, the early 90s. On a computer called an Amiga. No, I think I don't know if I used a 500 or a 1200 Amiga to do this, but that's what I did. I rendered that UFO because I think it's a big part of what's going on. It's all about humanity waking up and becoming more. I just think that you got this other element trying to force the change as opposed to letting the change happen on its own, which I think is happening. There's a lot of people that are waking up right now. A lot of people are very awake. I'm gonna pull that off. I have that UFO on a t-shirt. I printed it out on a t-shirt, mouse pad. We even have stickers. A few of them still left. I loved that picture. I even have it animated. I had it flying around. Not in the mountains, but I had that UFO flying in space. Animated. Computer 3D rendered. Took hours. Took almost a day just to render that one still of the UFO. Just the UFO, not the mountains. Just the UFO. I think it was like 23 hours and some odd minutes. Memories. I'll be back. Till then, be well and smile. And thank you for watching.